You ready?
Yep.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The 20Q reviews AlphaGo games.
You're reviewing it.
You got this?
You're reviewing it. I'm just here to look pretty and ask questions.
I don't know. Alright, so we're going to do this to have a review to see what Q players can learn from AlphaGo. So first, let me go ahead and change the title of the stream. Title: Q players. No, I'll just do it. I don't want to do that right now. Title. Go. Let's do that. So this will be what Q players can learn from AlphaGo. All right, so you start and tell me what the first weird move is.
You start? Okay.
Yeah. So it's AlphaGo versus AlphaGo, game 1. First button. Is that weird?
No.
Okay, normal.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's normal.
Normal.
Okay.
As a Q player, normally you say don't touch the things.
Yes! I say normally don't attach the things. So, let me just say something for the record. This is normally considered a bad move. And I'm going to stand by that it's a bad move.
Okay.
I don't care that AlphaGo played it. We don't know why it's played, therefore it's a bad move. Don't do this in your games. Now, let's talk about the attachment a little bit. And that is, normally you attach to gain strength, and attaching to live in some difficult areas can sometimes be good. We also notice that AlphaGo likes to attach a lot to try and just get a little bit more. So normally, I think the way Enseong talked about it was we used to not attach at all, right? Like 70s or 80s.
It's like don't touch. Don't touch.
Nobody touched anybody.
No touchy.
Yeah, nobody touched anybody for like a good 50 moves. There was like maybe one touching move.
Right.
Nobody touched anybody's.
It's really boring though, because killing stuff is fun.
Okay, but it's not about killing stuff. So pretend you're wanting to win and not kill stuff.
Normally you win by killing stuff, but I thought.
No,
Usually.
no, not at higher levels. At higher levels, killing stuff is
Okay,
bad.
well, to a double-digit Q, that's how you win. You have to kill things.
Okay, but pretend you're a strong player.
Ouch.
Okay, pretend you're a strong player. Yeah, bad things happen when you contact. Pretend you're a strong player. What would you do to win?
Okay, pretend I'm Clossi. I don't know. You're one down now. Let me know. I'm kidding. Okay. Like instead of this move.
No. The idea. What
Okay.
What do you need to do to win? And go.
To win. Surround territory. Don't die.
Correct. So that's pretty much a good answer, is that you want to surround territory and not die. Okay, so that was what it was. They would just surround territory, attack lightly, gain profit, etc., etc. And then the 90s and early 2000s came around, and they said, we want to play faster. They wanted to break the bubbles that was constraining their moves and play like almost anything in order to get a little bit more and get a little bit faster, be a little bit faster. So, in other words, become more Sente is basically what they're saying. So to become more Sente, they would gain more value, because Sente means forcing, right?
Okay.
So if you can force your opponent to respond to you, normally when you're forcing your opponent to do something, you're getting a little bit more than your opponent, right?
Okay.
So the more Sente you can be, the more you can get. That's the theory, anyway. Then AlphaGo comes along and says, even though we thought we had broken all of our boundaries, it turns out we still had many more boundaries. And this is one of them. So...
touching.
Right. So here we have to ask... what is the idea behind this move, and why is it considered normally bad? So do you know why a touching move is considered bad?
Because it reduces your own abilities?
Yes.
And now it's like your opponent's turn, so if it was a capture race and it was just those stones, then technically, like, if you had to focus on capturing the other person, black went white. Because of this, right?
That was an impressively perfect answer.
Aw, yay!
So, yes, you have a disadvantage in a fight. However, when you're invading, you already have the disadvantage.
Yeah.
So normally, for an invasion, when you touch, it makes both sides stronger. So, for example, if I was to touch a stone on my side, it would make my opponent stronger, which would make it easier for them to live, right?
Okay.
In theory. So, vice versa, touching something on my opponent's side will make it easier for me to live, because both sides get stronger, right?
Okay.
So, I think the idea here is for AlphaGo is he's trying to gain strength and reduce this area in Sente. So, it all comes down to basically Sente, Sente, Sente. Doing stuff in Sente. So if we ask ourselves, where's the next big move? It would be the right side, and then the bottom right corner is also approachable. So something on the right side, or maybe the bottom right corner, but there's also a weak stone at R14, but we're finding that can be ignored more and more, this approach to the star point. So for example, if white plays again, black can ignore. So even if white plays here, black can ignore this shape. So white's starting to ignore. Because if black's going to ignore, then white wants Sente. So if it's all about Sente, then we should ignore first, right?
Okay.
But anyway, so this one, no one really fully understands this one. Yeah, so no one really understands this attach. Like, we still are studying it. But according to research, it's eventually comes down to AlphaGo wants Sente. And so he's trying to play even faster and faster moves to get Sente. All right, so he plays here.
I'm pretty sure AlphaGo games make everyone feel dumb, for the record.
Yeah, and now he plays here. And now you're just like, what on earth is happening, right?
Because you'd think weak stone save it. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
But probably, I don't know if I count.
So when you touch, you normally want to
I
hide.
would Hane. I'd go away.
Right,
I'd
so
run.
when you touch, you normally want high, right?
Yeah.
So here's a good question. Which Hane? So if you play this one, right, keep your territory. I'm going to play here. Because normally the response to a Hane is either a crosscut, a Nobi, or another reverse Hane.
Yeah.
Those are the common responses. So if I play this one, this stone looks a little lonely, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I should change it and play this one to give that one support. Right? But now I play this one. Okay?
And now he's got
You fix.
all that over there that he can save.
Right? You fix. And now I have some stones maybe working together. So maybe I'll come back and do this one. And if you fix again, then all of a sudden, ta-da, a position. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe this isn't the exact variation. I can't say what AlphaGo's actual plan is. But you can see it's not as easy to respond to as you might first think.
Yeah, it's weird.
So this one, it's not that the stone's useless. It's just, in theory, it's bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how do you respond?
Yeah.
So maybe just the Nobi's okay. So let's see what AlphaGo does. AlphaGo does Hane. And he Hane's on this side. And he does Hane. He does the reverse Hane. So, ha! Called it! And he connects! I totally called this. So something I'm saying is right. Either that or somehow I'm getting to the right answer. But now we see that the F3 stone's lonely.
Yeah.
Alright, so now he's going to finish here. So now he's trying to be fast. He's trying to be everywhere. Sente, Sente, Sente. So we find that he's not fixing this.
All of a sudden, R14 isn't so lonely anymore.
Yeah, R14's not lonely. And all of a sudden, let's look back here. Black has complete control of the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Not anymore. I mean, black still has, like, the corner, but
Yeah. So
white has a bunch of, like, Moyo over
I wouldn't say it's a moyo.
here. Okay, it's a bunch of stones that are in the same, like, general area-ish. I know what I'm trying to say, but when I try to translate it into Go terms, it doesn't make sense anymore.
It's not a framework either, because white's not going to get points here. What he did do is stop black from getting a lot of points there.
Yeah.
And he did this in a way that we normally would call sabaki. You know what sabaki is?
That's one of the Go words I don't know.
Sabaki is to play lightly and escape quickly.
Okay.
So basically,
No,
be
you
willing.
have explained that.
Yeah. So basically, play lightly and be willing to give up something in order to just destroy the area.
Play
Right?
light, run away.
Play light, run away. So it's interesting to think that maybe we don't have to respond to this cut. So the worst case, right? So if he goes here, this is normally something we would never want to happen. Because now we have one of two options. One is we extend with the Atari, like normal. Black gets the whole side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And two is we save this stone, but then black gets Panuki in the center, right?
Yeah.
Neither one of those we like.
And the Panuki's the diamond shape, right?
The Panuki's the circle shape.
Circle drum. It looks like a diamond to me.
That one.
Yeah. Diamond shape.
Okay.
Because it's straight lines. It's not.
Okay.
It's not a circle.
Okay. But here, yes, there's Panuki, but there's also a weak stone. And remember how weak stones are theoretically bigger than the big moves? So what if I Atari and I Atari? You want to connect? No, now there's no more diamond. And you have weak stone. You want to fight the Ko? Possible. Because now you can do something like that, right? So there's lots and lots of variations to consider. Or maybe we just go here directly.
And now F3 is very, very lonely.
So it's hard to say that we want that Panuki when there's F3. But this is only us trying to justify AlphaGo's moves. In theory, leaving a cut is bad.
Okay.
Hey, Abram Magician. But in theory, leaving a cut is bad. I don't recommend doing that. I would say that you can potentially learn that sometimes... So first off, the first shape you want to learn here is when they Hane, a reverse Hane, so basically Hane back, is a very common shape. He's done it twice now. Normally, the best response is to connect. Both sides connect. When you get into cuts, like sure there are cutting points for both players, but it gets very complicated very quickly. So usually the best response is just connect and then connect. But in this case, AlphaGo is saying sometimes we can Tanuki this. So I would say a note here is sometimes that shape can be Tanuki.
Okay.
But I would do it with
But
extreme caution. I would do it with extreme caution.
Yeah.
Alright, so AlphaGo's just reduced the entire bottom very fast and still played on the right. I would say it's very, very fast pace.
Also, for the record, I'm pretty sure it's Abra Magician. Like
Abra-magician?
Like abracadabra.
Okay. So, pincer, try to split, right? This shape's common because...
See, playing there would scare me.
Well, it's a 3-space extension, right? So when there's a high on one and a low on the other, the most common response is attach on the head. So this is a common response.
Like Black's move right there.
This one? This is a common splitting move. It's a 3-space jump. That's why you know one stone jumps 2. If one stone jumps 3, it can be split in the center.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah, it's still scary.
Well, it's scary.
To a double-digit cube, because I don't know how to live. I'm not very good at living.
It's a common move. It got waved off. I'm also trying to keep us on topic because we have 2 games to do. And this is also going to go on YouTube, so I'm worried about the topic straying too far from the game. Because normally with Twitch we would talk more, but I want this to be also a YouTube video. Okay. Feel free to ask questions, though. I'm not going to ignore you. I just want to stay on topic. Yep, so he's going to connect. And then Sente again. Sente.
What was it you said? Sente is God?
That's an endgame. An endgame, second line is big, Sente is God.
I feel like that's just like the whole game, though, because it's all you guys talk about.
Well, AlphaGo is now saying Sente is God. AlphaGo worships Sente, I believe. I'm pretty sure AlphaGo worships Sente. AlphaGo says there is a God and his name is Sente. Anyway, it's interesting to see that White did attack this F3 stone. F3 is lonely. Normally you defend weak groups. But he's saying it's not a weak group yet, it's just a single stone. And yes, that stone is big, the bottom left is big, but the bottom left is only this. Because the corner's already whites.
Yeah.
So the bottom left is only this chunk. And there's white stones, and there's a black stone. So we don't know who has control yet. Yes, it is big. Yes, it is important. But there are weak groups on the right. And weak groups on the right are something to attack when you attack Sente. So we have to decide, is the right side attack bigger than the bottom side attack?
I don't know, because usually with the Clossi approach, it's your weakness first.
But do you remember why? Do you know why I say your weakness first, your opponent's weakness second, to get to 1-dot? Because
I assume not dying is like
yes,
95% of go.
no, like 80 to 90% of the time, your weakness is bigger than your opponent's weakness. Because it's very difficult to attack your opponent's weakness when you have weakness. Oh my gosh! Why'd you push the button?
I didn't mean to. I went to lean on your chair and I missed.
Oh my gosh! Clossi just died a little.
Don't die.
I just had a heart attack. Just had a heart attack.
Ow. Now you're sitting on my leg.
Well, who's the one who pushed the button in the chair?
I didn't mean to.
Ow! Talk about distractions. You're a terrible co-host. Push the chair of the teacher while you're teaching. Okay, where was I before I died? I had a heart attack. Fell off a cliff.
You're saying that most of the time your own weakness
Yes,
is weaker than...
80 or 90% of the time, your weakness is bigger than your opponent's weakness because
it's hard to attack
when your opponent when you're weak. However, that will get you to 1-dot. Now, after 1-dot, you have to start learning those exceptions, that last 10%. Right? So
10 to 20.
Yeah, 10 to 20%. So after you reach dawn, you have to start considering, yes, this is my weakness. Yes, my opponent can attack it. But if I attack my opponent's weakness, will I gain more than he will gain? If we both attack each other's weaknesses simultaneously, who will gain more? If I will gain more, then that means his weakness is bigger than mine.
Gotcha.
Additionally, sometimes it's good to attack your opponent's weakness while defending because it's usually a very good defense. But I still consider that a defense. Even if you're attacking while defending, you're still defending. You're just doing it in Sentai. So here we're learning that, or here AlphaGo's saying the right side, attacking the right side is bigger than defending the bottom. And then he disagrees with himself. Now he says attacking the bottom is bigger than defending the right. But
I keep forgetting it's the same computer.
AlphaGo versus AlphaGo. So, in my mind, what I think AlphaGo is saying is that attacking might be bigger than defending if you know how to do it.
Okay.
Now, I won't recommend that approach without caution. And what I mean by that is defending yourself is easier to do and easier to win. It's easier to win if you defend yourself first and attack your opponent second. It's much easier to do. So that's why I tell all my students to do it, because it'll help them get to 1-dot faster, to help them have a good, strong game. However, it's not a 100% thing. Defending yourself...
Ever 100%.
Yeah, it's never 100% go. Defending yourself might not always be the biggest thing. Sometimes attacking might be more valuable. But you have to do it right. And that's where it gets difficult. So here we might see that AlphaGo says attacking might be bigger than defending. But we don't know. Isn't top left biggest? So actually, we answered that in the Clossi approach. Weaknesses are technically more valuable than big moves. And the reason we say that, but the Sentai value also becomes important in there as well, but it's more or less, weaknesses are more valuable than big moves. Let's talk about the theory for that. Okay. So, a big move. Let's say there's only big moves. Black plays black plays the biggest big move, right?
Okay.
White plays the second biggest big move. Black plays the third biggest big move. White plays the fourth biggest big move. So
right.
Black will be leading, but White has Komi. So if Komi is equal to the difference between the first biggest and the second biggest, then as long as we both equally play the biggest moves, then in theory we would always be even, correct?
Okay.
Because of Komi. So we'd always be even in theory, right? So how do we win? We have to somewhere on the board make an exchange that is more valuable for us, and then go back to the big move.
Okay.
That's where attack and defense comes in. For example, we both play big moves. I attack you in Sentai. I gain 1 point more than you in that attack. Then I go back to playing the big move. But because I did it in Sentai. So before I played the next big move, I attacked you, got a point, went back and played the next big move. So in theory, I'm now winning by 1 point. Correct?
Yes.
So this means as long as you can get back to that next big move, attacking will give you the lead, and then you can get back to the next big move, keep your lead. So in theory, because of that, we say that weaknesses are bigger than the big move. And that is because that is where the bad exchange rates will happen. because the exchange rate for big moves are even, as long as we both are getting to them. But the exchange rates in a fight is advantageous for the attacker. So attacking is technically more valuable. But why do we defend? Well, that is to prevent our opponent from attacking us and gaining value, right? So that's why we defend. So that's why I say defending's easier, because you defend, now your opponent can't do anything to you, who plays a big move. All right, now you play a big move, and it's still even until he has a weakness, and then you attack his weakness and gain profit. You've already defended yours, so you don't have to worry about it. So defending yours first and attacking your opponent second, and then playing the big move is, in theory, the easiest way to win and go. That's the Clossi approach.
No.
If you can get Scenting after defending your weakness, oh yeah, definitely. But, oh, thanks for the follow, Abra Magician.
Abra Magician.
Abra
See?
Magician.
Abra.
Abracadabra.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway, so now but now we're saying that AlphaGo is saying that attacking might be bigger than defending. But we don't know that yet. This is only the first game, so we're just going to keep that little idea in our head. Maybe it's a right idea, maybe it's not. But it's something we can think about. All right, so now let's continue. All right, so he jumps here. So he's still attacking the bottom right corner. The whole bottom right.
Although, Pokemonster 433 did have a point. Why not just go there to another target? That one.
Ooh, here?
Yeah.
Ah.
I can't take credit for that. Those one of the flowers, but that is a...
Let me ask you this. Locally, it's big, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when I play globally? I can control the board. When you attack something, you want to attack the entire thing, not just part of it. The reason is it's too easy for high-level players to sacrifice parts of it and get a big something else somewhere else that's bigger.
You see, to a double-digit Q, a double Atari is huge.
Correct. For a double-digit Q, this move would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I
Like,
would
if
say
I was white,
it's
I
not
would
a bad
panic.
move. It's not a bad move.
If I was white, I would panic.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad move.
Okay.
It's a very good idea. You kill all the weaknesses in this area and get all the territory. So it's actually a very good move.
As far
But
as,
on a
like, the
global
bottom corner is
scale-
concerned.
On a global scale, it's only a few points. Yes, it's security, but it's only a few points. So Black would rather, at a higher level,
Yeah.
attack the entire group all at once. This way, if he's going to capture, and let's say White tries to do that same exchange, like, I'm going to get the whole board, right? But this is not a variation.
Yeah.
This is just an example. Now, when he captures it, he captures a lot more. So now this is unplayable. We can't let that much die. So
Okay.
now it's a lot more pressure. In other words, it's going to force us to defend. And what happens when we defend? It means we're making profitable exchanges because we're attacking and they're defending, and we're getting the advantage. So when you attack something, attack the entire group. All right, he said O5, not Q5. O5 is a little bit strange. Q5 is more direct, and it just does the job directly. This one, there's still a lot of Aji right here. So I would say Q5 is probably better than O5. Because if you're wanting to just defend and kill the stones and get the territory and be solid, this does the job much
Okay.
better. If you're going to attack the whole group, Q5. What?
Yeah. He said O5, but he meant Q5. I think is what he's trying to say.
Oh, he meant
I'm
Q5.
not sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Which,
okay.
which is what I was saying. Because you said double Atari, so I was like, where?
Oh, okay. Anyway, yes, Q5 is much better for that. But when you attack something, this is something else you can learn, is attack the entire group, not just part of the group.
Okay.
When you attack the whole group, not just part of the group. It's too easy to sacrifice part of it. Okay, so at this point, I would say if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and you're wanting to study this, or if you are watching on Twitch and you just want to watch it later, I would recommend maybe getting a pen and pencil at this point, because I've just noticed we're saying a lot of stuff and it's only like 24 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
So I would say anything that you want to do, you could take a pen and pencil and just write some ideas down. Because remember, we're only seeing what we can learn from it as a Q player. And we want to get some new ideas to try and to work with and just see what we can learn. And we have, 50 of these games, I believe?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, hi, Jasper. How are you doing? That's Jasper.
Hey!
Yeah. Okay.
I was wondering why someone screamed my name. I was like, why do they know my real name?
Okay. Back to point. So, if you're watching this on YouTube or something, or watching it at a later time, I recommend at this point for this video and the rest of the videos, get a pen and paper. Take notes. Because these notes might prove very useful. They might be good ideas in the future. Because the whole point of this series is to help give you more Go strategies and more Go ideas, so notes can help you with your study. So these videos are meant to help you study. So you can learn the AlphaGo games as a Q player, and learn something from the AlphaGo games as a Q player. So what we learned so far is basically Sente is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes this reverse Hane shape, if you didn't know it, if you did know it, sometimes apparently it can be ignored. I would not do that I would do that with caution. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's still scary even for me to ignore.
It's scary.
And maybe in some scenarios, attacking is bigger than defending. Maybe. Never know. But anyway, these are ideas to think about. Maybe you don't know how to apply them because actually I tried applying Sente in my games.
Uh-oh.
It didn't go well. I died.
Aw.
And then I backed up a bit, so I started trying to do Sente, but only I was being more solid. I stopped the attaching moves because I was trying to be like AlphaGo and attach and try to get Sente. It didn't work out. I can't read as well as AlphaGo. That didn't work. So I scratched that idea and just tried to do simple.
Read as well as
Right.
AlphaGo.
I tried to simplify it and just do Sente and try to worry about Sente. And then I come into a new weakness of mine that I had, which was I wasn't making enough points in Sente. And that's something I've been learning and working with on my own. So
it's like you're
I'm
good
learning from
at,
AlphaGo as well.
You're good at like Sente and making people do what you want, but getting as much.
Right, so I was getting
points.
Sente quite often. And I was constantly getting Sente because I was forcing myself to get Sente. But I didn't make the good exchanges. And so...
that looks like math.
Yeah. Attacking... no, defending is usually bigger than attacking. And weaknesses are more valuable than the bigger moves. But AlphaGo is saying sometimes if you're skilled, attacking might be bigger than defending. So if we want to change the wording, we can say attacking is bigger than defending, but only if you know. And I will say that even if attacking is bigger than defending, I would still say defending is easier to win if you make defending bigger than attacking. If you defend before you attack, then it's easier to win.
Okay.
But if you attack before you defend, it might be more valuable. It's
As
just
long
a
as
lot
you know
more
how to
risky.
attack.
Right. It's more. It might be more valuable. It just might be more risky. Yeah, AlphaGo says get good. Basically, get good. So that's something we can learn. It's interesting. So we're learning all kinds of new strategies. All right. So bottom left, really big. Bottom right, really big. So keeping consistent with your own plan, important. Basically. Yeah, that's a big position. Big position is big. At this point, the bottom right corner is bigger than the top left corner, even if white played first. Because if all the bottom right corner becomes territory, that's a quarter of the board that's solid territory. Not invadable, nothing. So I would say at this point, white has to do something in the bottom right.
Plus R14 looks really
Unless he can turn the bottom left into just as big as the bottom right, then I would say the right side or bottom right or somewhere on the right is important because it's not just the bottom right that he's also getting. He's also attacking the stone at R14. So I would say now would be a very important time to play on the right. So let's see if I'm right. I might be wrong. Ooh, I'm right. Okay, now we get another touching. AlphaGo is holding back on humans and Sente true power. N9. I would do the horse. My instinct would be here, and if neither of those worked, then I try to find something else. I would have to read a lot.
But touching that stone is weird.
Yes, no one would think of this. But remember our definitions of when to touch.
Yeah.
When do you touch?
Players don't like touching.
Yeah, they don't like touching. When do you touch? Do you remember? We said it in this video.
Give me a sec.
You touch when?
You touch when you're playing on your opponent's side because it makes both sides stronger and makes you more likely to win.
Yes!
I remembered a thing!
So that's what he's doing!
It's so weird.
It looks weird. It is weird. But he's doing it correctly, if that makes sense. In theory, he's doing it correctly. But of course, everything has to be backed up with reading. So let's see what the result is. Okay, so he decided to stay strong and not split. I would have haunted that. I would have totally haunted that. And this is the shape, right?
And that's the one where they're supposed to like both fix the cuts because it's the.
So if I go here and then try to do something here, right? Let's say I try to kill the group. Then it'll be no matter. Do you know how valuable a Panuki is in the center?
A lot based on the tone of your voice. You
The
said
theory
when you
is-
say Panuki in the center, like it's its own special thing, that tells me it's like really
A
valuable.
Panuki that is facing the center is worth, in theory, 30 points.
Jeez.
All right, now let's say the bottom left. Would you say the bottom left plus 30 points, the bottom left plus 30 points is equal to the bottom right?
I don't know. I can't count. 30 points sounds like a lot.
I would say it's possible. So maybe this is why the cuts aren't good. But of course, I can't read as good as AlphaGo. I have no idea what he's reading. I'm just trying to come up with ideas, theories on why this would be okay. And then if I can't justify it, then I can't use it. If I can justify it, practice it,
If you
implement it, correct, and
So
it
if you
works.
understand why he's doing what he's doing, then yay. If not, ignore AlphaGo.
Pretty much, if you can justify it, that means you can try it for that justification. If it gets proved wrong in your games, or you just can't handle it or can't use it, then don't even use it.
Okay.
This greatest strategy in the world is useless in a beginner's hands.
Because they don't know how to use
They don't know how to use it.
it. So,
So,
double-digit Kyus.
so something like this, touching when you're trying to gain strength, it's an idea. You can try it. I tried it. I can use it. I died. I died quite
It's
a
all
lot.
math and trees. Isn't that what reading is? That was a bunch of trees?
So I can't pull this off, but AlphaGo can. So I think, in theory, that's why he's doing it.
Okay.
So you can try it in your games, but I couldn't do it, so I wouldn't do it. Another attach. So now,
That's
do you
weird.
remember what I said about Sabaki? So this
Yes.
one I would
Play
play.
light, run away.
It's not that. So this one. So the first one looks weird. This one looks genius. The reason is when you start looking at the combinations. So now we play that same shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
That relationship between the stones is really good. It's really hard to cut that shape off. So I would say now. Ooh, what about not that? Sorry. Previous variation. What about we do something like that, and then we aimed at that attachment? That might be possible. Maybe sometimes when reviewing a pro game, the follow-ups will tell you why the previous move is good.
Okay.
So he played here. So this one I really like. The first one I had no idea if it was good. This one I think is really good. That is because we can apply Sabaki here very
It looks
effectively.
really good. Because now all black has, it's like the set over here, and the white has all of that.
Right, and it looks like White was
Oh, it
able
looks
to
like
defend himself very effectively. So remember how I said don't try to kill things? That's because
Yeah.
it's very hard to kill things.
But
So-
killing stuff is
So look how many
fun.
stones Black has to those white stones on the right. So he has that many stones, right? White's ignored it this many times. And still he was able to come back to life. Killing stuff is hard. You attack for profit, not to kill. Unless they kill themselves. Like they
But
did.
killing stuff is fun.
Well, if you want to win, then you need to win with better strategies. Alright, so now he defends himself. Okay. Ooh, like there's that shape again. Hane, reverse Hane.
AlphaGo likes the
Then
reverse
double
Hane.
Hane. Double Hane's
See,
also
that
fun
looks
too.
really scary. Because then you've got all the weird petty.
Double Hane
stuff.
Double Hane's good when they have bad liberties. When they have bad liberties, you can double Hane. Alright. Would you say that you can you surround White? Can you seal in White?
Up here?
No, if you were Black. So let's say
Like
let's
top
say
right?
you're given one free move. Can you seal in White?
In the top right?
No, the right side. Where the whole fight, where we were fighting.
Oh. Probably not. I'd say maybe.
So if you take the Tiger's Mouth, because Tiger Bounce of Vital Points, I
Yeah.
disconnect, right?
Yeah.
So obviously the only move
I was gonna say
is to prevent
right
that.
there.
Tari. Tari.
Connect.
All right, one more try. That's L6. Target. Panuki in the center. This group can no longer be sealed in.
Jeez.
No matter what you do, this group can no longer be sealed in. In other words, AlphaGo said, all right, I'm good. I can't be sealed in, so Tanuki. Because Sentei's important.
Gosh.
The,
So now he's trying to
moment,
save the lonely side
yeah.
up there.
So in my mind, what I think AlphaGo's doing is the moment that group
It's
cannot
okay.
be sealed in, could not be killed, basically cannot be sealed in, he Tanuki, and we got Sentei again. So he will ignore the group until one move away from its death, and then it'll live.
That's a crazy good amount of reading, though.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of reading, and it's really, really risky, so I don't recommend. I recommend being very cautious if you're going to ignore weak groups for Sentai. There's also these things. Just because you can't be sealed in doesn't mean your opponent can't threaten to seal you in.
Yeah.
Like I did today.
Did you win?
Yes, that game I won.
There you go.
Because I said I can try to surround my opponent, but he'll escape, and I won't get any profit. So I'm going to play this move, which will give me about 5 points profit, and threaten to seal him in. So that way when he defends, I'll get 5 points. The exchange rate's good.
Okay.
I mean, I attacked for profit. I wasn't trying to kill him. I was trying to get 5 points. Then, of course, he responded to prevent the 5 points, and I sealed him in, and he died. But that was beside the point. My strategy was, I'm going to get 5 points, he's going to escape. Because when you attack for profit. Okay, so now I would say he's about to get sealed in again. Now I expect him to defend. However, Black ignored a cut in order to get influence in the center. So me, I would never ignore that. I would never ignore that. I might try to do something around it to try and get Sentei back, but I would never ignore this. And he was like, nah, screw that. That's not big. This one's hard to justify. Because this stone can still run away, so these two stones can still be cut. Yes, this area can be reduced, so it might be small, but it was also it was also a cutting stone because when you connected, these two groups were cut. So I actually have no idea how to justify this move.
Okay.
Some moves we are just not going to understand.
I mean, like Black.
You're going to have to
here?
understand that. Some moves we will never understand. You're going to have to understand that.
I will do my best.
Alright. So now he seals him in. Because he thinks influence here is more valuable than splitting. AlphaGo lives. Yeah, AlphaGo pretty much fixes everything and lives. Because now he's sealed in, right? So, AlphaGo, of course, wants Sentei, but now he's completely sealed in. He needs life. So, he makes sure that Black can't play this move right here. And make sure he's alive. So, even if he reduces, AlphaGo can still live. Alright, so Black threatens it, makes a Sentei exchange.
And now Q11.
And now he does the exact same thing that White just did and comes back and lives over here. Because you know how it's like one move away from dying?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's one move away from dying. So, okay. The right side was technically bigger, so he did that first. But now that he's one move away from dying from the bottom left, now he's going to come back and do that. So AlphaGo does defend. One move away from his death. And gets points everywhere else until then.
Which
So-
I'm assuming is not something you would recommend for double W.
Put it this way. If it's one move away from death, if you value that even one move wrong, you die.
So as a double digit Q, don't do that thing.
I don't recommend that. If
Don't do
single
that
digit
thing.
Qs want to try that, or Dons want to try that,
I would say
it might be interesting. So
don't
I
do it
might
until you're done.
I might
That would
try
scare
it
me.
once or twice because it sounds like a very interesting idea. But you also have to take into account
A
how-
lot of
yeah.
reading.
how valuable is it, even if you don't die, for them to surround you and attack you. And then what you're getting, is it more valuable than what they're doing? So I would say you can Tanuki a group up until one move before it dies, only if you're attacking something of equal value or more.
And Tanuki is placed somewhere else in
Yes.
the door, right?
Ignore the local situation.
I have to
So
make
would
sure I
you
remember
would
what
you
things
agree with that statement? So in theory, from this game, could you state that I can ignore a group up until one move before its death, if and only if I am attacking something of equal value or greater?
As long as you can count that the moves till death correctly, I'd say yes.
I want to say that's what we're
Yeah.
seeing here.
If you can perfectly read that this is one move until death and then fix it, then yes, go for it. But if you're
Am I right? I have no idea. But that's the theory I'm starting to formulate in my head from this game. Alright, so we see some attaching moves. These are common moves. This is just an asking move. Yes, you can if you know the way out. This is just an asking move. You live in the corner or not. He's just making some sit take changes before he lives. But then white didn't connect the cut. So normally you would expect something like here or like here to kill the stone. And then black gets some forcing moves and then can get out. And if white doesn't, and white wants to seal you in, well, now you can connect under. Right? But instead, white said, I'm going to honey. So I'm going to cut you. And basically the same thing this move does. It's just a lot looser. So now black says, I'm going to cut. But I'm not convinced that corner is going to live. Because to my mind, that corner still looks kind of dead. Maybe it can live, but it looks difficult. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm never going to see the empty triangle. I'm just going to put it... This was not even one of the moves I was considering.
See, to me, that's just, I'm connecting things.
But it's already connected. It's diagonals are connected.
Well, you're going to have to play it either way, because if he plays on one side, then you have to make an empty triangle. And connect on the other side. So he's just playing that in advance, I guess.
Don't play stuff in advance. If it's not there, don't play it. What he's doing is after black respawns, and I get the tiger's mouth, right? I now have this move, and this move is Miai. You know what Miai is?
That's when if you play one thing, then you play the other thing, but if they play the other thing, then you play the one thing.
So now white has two ways to punish black. So this move feels kind of cool, actually.
See, I would play that move, but for very different reasons.
Well, this move's normally bad, because it has very bad liberties.
See,
Empty triangles have bad liberties.
Connect stuff.
It's already connected.
Okay.
If it was
That's
me,
why I would
what's
play
wrong
it,
with
though.
this move? Yes, I can be cut right here, but...
See, you end up playing the same triangle anyway.
But I'm going to connect. I have Mia to connect. It's fine. But here, I'm splitting black, and I'm out. Or if black wants the outside, I'm still connected. So to me, there's nothing wrong with this Nobi. But this move just kind of feels cool, I guess. Because now...
Once you know, like, where it goes from there.
It seems like it has better follow-ups, but it's really, really hard. I'm not strong enough to say why this move is better. But it feels cool. Okay, so now he plays this double peep. I'm not sure what he's doing here, actually.
Yeah, that scared me.
That's what he's doing. That's cool. I think white's just going to defend and keep points. This is just a Sente reduction. Yeah, see? White just defended, and later black can just do that. It's just a Sente reduction. That's all it is. Just free points. AlphaGo said, hey, free points. Psh. I'd do that too if it was with the free points. But the timing is inhumane. What I mean by that is, the timing of this
I think you mean
is really...
inhuman.
It's human.
Inhumane is like...
Listen, English major. Shut your face. I know what I meant.
Well, it is a computer, so inhuman makes sense.
The timing doesn't feel human. Because I know what it does,
inhuman.
And the strategy makes sense, but the timing doesn't make sense. The timing is just off. Because right now, the bottom left is super important.
That's AlphaGo.
Well, all of these moves are Sente, but after white does this, is the next move Sente? I don't know. And black said, no, it's not. But then why make these changes in the first place? Because black knows he'll get it later. Probably. Because it's very small for white to fix, but it's Sente for black to fix. So he just did it. So that's why I said the timing's very non-human.
Well, what is a computer we're talking about?
Yeah. So this move is very, very large. To the point, I think this to me looks like a bad move. It looks like one of my students' moves. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm attacking the left, but the left ain't gonna die. Oh. That's what I would expect the conversation to go. In other words, I have no idea what this move is. It just looks bad. Sente. Sente. Okay, back to here. So he's constantly calculating. He's trying to figure out which one's which. I don't know what's going to happen. So it does look like the corner can live at some point. So later, it looks like the corner might be able to live with some shapes like this. The corner looks like it might be able to live. So he's just destroying part of the influence while attacking these two stones? Maybe? Forcing your opponent to crawl is very big. Very valuable. The second line is super, super, super small.
Yeah. Super line.
So he's
line, right?
forcing his opponent small on his opponent's side. So in that case, it feels really good. But the timing of when to get back to that corner is going to be important, because that corner is very large. Yeah. We know it's Sente over there. We know. We're good. Alright, so now it's 4 in a row. Can you live in the corner now? Oh, he goes 5 in a row.
See, I like the pretty straight lines.
So, I guess the corner's White's burden. So he says, yeah, I can live here. But big moves are big. So he'll just do it later. So I guess the corner's just going to be White's burden. And White made sure he's alive, so even if Black does live there later, then...
White's still alive.
Yeah, White's still alive. I feel like all of these were really good for Black, though. Like, these exchanges just look super good for
now
Black.
it just has a wall.
Yeah, it looks... I like Black on the left. And the right, I like White. Because that was Black's whole area, and White just like, whatever, I'm just living here. The top side also looks good for Black. So I'm going to say I like Black's position.
Doesn't Black lose?
We don't know. Black wins some of the time.
Black was a little upset at the end of the game. I don't remember. Like when you were like saving
We're not judging the end. We're judging right now.
Okay.
Because the end may be something self-authority. You never know. You can't judge a game by the result.
Okay.
So...
But yeah, at this point it does look good for Black.
You think so?
Well...
Look at you, you beautiful 20Q judging the board. You're so strong. You're judging AlphaGo's game and saying who's winning, who's losing.
Dude, that looks good.
I like Black. But according to AlphaGo's analysis, it's almost always even in their games. In the AlphaGo versus AlphaGo games, it's almost always even.
Because all of this on the right is weird. And then White has, like, the bottom left corner, and then Black has the ability to, like, all that.
What was that?
Like,
Yeah.
that area.
It's
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway, I prefer Black, but it's not easy. It definitely is close. But according to the analysis, so White said, nope, territories, this is too big. It's too big. Actually, it's very common to ignore the star point lately. Do you know that? An approach to a star point is sometimes ignorable. An approach in the Knight's move is apparently ignorable. And then an approach in Knight's move slide is also ignorable. The star
These are all the things I'm finally learning to do, and now you're like, nope, that's ignorable.
I mean, it's good to respond, but it's also it's not impossible to ignore. So the star point's very flexible and can be ignored very easily. The star point's very flexible. Very interesting. So he said, nope, territory's big. Interesting. Alright, so White has a lot of solid territory. Black has a lot of influence on the top of the middle. So, of course, attack the weak stone. Very big. And then run. Surround. Clossi approach. So, weak stone, no base, run. When you're running, surround. When you're surrounded, live. Alright, reduce the eye space. Tanuki is not one of the Clossi approach moves. And like that, unify the Clossi approach. So he does reduce... So apparently he thinks he's not going to die. 3/3 is good for immediate life. Like, it's really easy to live. So the reason is, if you look at the sphere of Black influence, it does look like White's surrounded. Would you want to run into all that? Do you think you can run in there?
No, there's no way I'm running into
Yeah,
the wall.
There's no escape path, right? There's no escape path in any direction. So would you agree that you're surrounded?
Yeah, I'd try to live
So
in
when
the
you're
corner and then play
right.
somewhere else. But I would live in the corner first.
Right. That's what he did. He lived in the corner. So why did he do that?
You're getting distracted.
Yeah, sorry, it was a comment. So why would he do this instead of just living in the corner now? Oh, whoop, I'm on my pen. Okay. Why not now?
Is that smaller? Like a lot smaller?
Black's too big. Compare that to that. It's very obvious why.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why. He's just living. It's
I'll
nothing
shut my
crazy.
music off. I just have my music still on.
But now he does this. So this one's a little bit tricky in timing, and also it looks cuttable. So this one's tricky. So if we try to cut, I think white will just make life on top. But if we don't try to cut, then white reduces too easily, right? So this one's tricky to respond to. Also, white just ignored the top left corner. So let's ask, are we alive? Like, this is what I would do. I would ask, are you alive? But if I ask, are you alive, and you just start running, and then somehow you live, then you lived in my influence. So, Kara, can you kill that group?
The white group?
Yep. Can you kill it?
Me? No.
So, I would say it's very dangerous for white. But I would also say
See, that's
that
what I was trying
black
to do.
doesn't
and
look alive.
That was what I was trying to do in the game. You were making fun of me earlier.
I don't make
That I
fun.
was playing earlier. I was trying to just like, okay, I'm gonna make this thing alive, and then I'm gonna walk into the middle and make that less points.
No, I made fun because you honeyed into a Cosmi that could be cut. Anyway, this group doesn't look so strong. So it looks like it's very dangerous to kill this. Which means, I would say that you could surround this in Sinte. Because if unsettling it and chasing it is not valuable, then surround it and let it live in Gote is valuable. Okay? But if you're going to surround and live in Gote, that means, is this profit more valuable than what white just took away? The calculation here is very, very high.
Yeah, I'm not a
The
computer.
profit,
I
the profit here is less in value than the points here. So I just said, nope. Yes, you'll get profit, but I'll get over here. Let's see what black does. Unsettle. So he is going to chase, actually. So he said chase is bigger. 5 in a row?
Oh my
What?
gosh.
That's not cuttable? What? What?
Why I sound like a song?
Atari. Peep. Live?
Sunset, what is happening?
I'm trying to read. So, if I try to cut, I don't know. I give up. I don't know. I don't know on this one.
So what does AlphaGo do?
AlphaGo didn't cut. He just said, no, this is big. He's going to attack the whole group. Maybe that's what it is. Attack the whole group, not part of the group. Including that one extra stone, guys. Maybe it's as simple. It might be as simple as that. Attack the whole group, not just part of the group. It might just be that simple. But I don't know. I don't understand why the cut doesn't work. Surround the whole group. Back to the Clossi approach. This one's just watching the cuts and watching the force moves. Stay strong, keep them surrounded. Stay strong, keep surrounded. Very basic attack strategy. Diagonals at the end of the board. Yeah, utilize your opponent's weakness to gain strength. That's what this move does. Utilize your opponent's weakness to gain strength. Attack while defending. This one, keep white cut. Okay, so I'm trying to... I know the idea behind this one, but I don't know the variation. So when I see this, I'm like, okay, there's got to be a plan somewhere. So let's see the plan. Black's dying. That's the plan. Oh my gosh. The whole left side's dying. Do you see that?
Left side. The giant line?
Yeah, okay, so now let's draw a line of the white stones. Do, 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 do. Do you see that black group? It's now surrounded.
Oh.
White just reversed it on himself. The best defense is a good offense. This is the very definition of that. Alright. Stay there. And now both players have to live. What? That. That's confusing. So remember how I said AlphaGo likes to attack before defending?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing. It's not obvious, but that's what he's doing. Let's see if it shows. Okay, so he just defended it. Okay. So you have to actually read quite a bit for this. And I'm not even sure I'm right. So first off, this is the exchange, and then he kills it with some move, right? So we just assume that he kills it somehow. That's nice and solid. Just assume that kills it, right?
Okay.
So we assume one move kills it. This is what a human would expect to happen, right? Or this is what your first instincts would be, is if I cut here in Sente, then I can kill this. I'm alive, he's dead, right? Seems good. Until you realize that everything over here, like this whole group, might get cut off. And there's a cut right here for these stones. So it's not like this group can connect down here. Now, I would need a lot more reading to show you the exact variations, but this is the general idea that I have that AlphaGo's doing. But I would need a lot more reading. Like, for example, all these freaking double Ataris right here, all that Hane, all the Aji and these Ataris and everything, or maybe that's not even the best move to cut. Maybe he can peep or something, or cut somewhere else. I don't know. Or maybe it's this shoulder hit. I don't know. That actually looks nice. Because if I go here, then these two stones have bad liberties and might cut. And if you defend it somehow, then I have more support for that same double Hane variation. So that might be cool. Anyway, I would need a lot of reading to tell you the exact variation. So I don't know the exact variation. But I'm confident that the idea is AlphaGo values attacking more than defending. Which is a very interesting concept if you think about it. But you have to be really confident in your attacking to do that. Because I am not confident in my attacking. I die when I do that. That's cool. That's a cool defense. It's just a fancy defense. Fancy way to defend the cat. More fancy stuff.
It says AlphaGo's a Lannister.
What?
I know, that makes no sense when I just say that one sentence, but it's, let's go attack this thing over here to unsettle them instead of, like, defending our little spot. We're gonna go unsettle you and make you run over here and fix this.
I have no idea what you're on about.
I know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make it make sense.
Okay, AlphaGo's a Lannister.
Yep.
Sure. No.
Or things like the Lannisters.
No.
Let's go attack this thing over here.
No, that was the start. I'm not even going to get into this philosophical argument with you right now.
It's not philosophical, it's fantastical.
A philosophical fantasy argument. Okay, anyway, he's trying to defend himself in a fancy way. That's what's happening. There's still a cut. Holy crap. Oh, it's only 5 stones, though. Yes, there's a cut, but the 5 stones may or may not be important. I'm not sure yet. So that's a co-connection. Okay, so just gonna connect. Cut the 5 stones? Oh no, that's Sente. That's Sente. Sente. Now cut the 5 stones. Are the 5 stones dead? Look dead to me. But AlphaGo lived and he got the obligatory? So, for example, AlphaGo got this whole section right now.
Okay.
After that double Atari, AlphaGo got this section, right? It's his. Yes.
Say white and black because they're both AlphaGo and it's making me really
Oh,
confused.
sorry. White got this section right here.
Uh-huh.
Black got 5 stones. White has Sente. So White gave up 5 stones for Sente. The territory evens out, but the 5 stones, I think Black got the 5 stones over White in the exchange. But 5 stones are only 10 points. Ow! Why do you keep pushing that button?
I didn't push the button. I was just going to move my foot.
And you push the button. Anyway, AlphaGo says Sente is worth more than 10 points. That's why he's in it. Stop pushing that button.
I didn't push the button.
I'm going to make you sit over there if you don't stop pushing the
There's
button.
no seat over there.
Exactly. You'll stand. Stop pushing the button. It's a big red button. Don't push the
Why
button.
can't I just sit on me? That makes so much more sense.
Because then I would be uncomfortable. Alright, so he played over here, which is very, very big. This move's very big, because remember, Black ignored this to attack. He did get 5 stones, but he lost Sente in exchange. And apparently Sente is extremely valuable. Okay, yeah, so Black has to defend. This just defends the points while threatening to connect, and if White splits, then Black will just live in the corner. So he's just trying to get the most points. Yeah, he's just trying to get points while defending. Alright, White knows Black's alive, so now he plays this, which looks like the next big move, or at least it's a Sente big move. And now we are in endgame. We are now in endgame. In endgame, Sente is God. Second line is big, Sente is God. That's what what was it? Japanese.
I don't know.
Maeda Sensei said.
I just know it's...
Okay. Reading. There's a Tsuji. I'm trusting the AlphaGo read a Tsuji.
Tsuji is a smart, like...
A skillful tactical play that works in a local situation that normally would be bad.
Yeah.
Basically a skillful tactical move that works in a local situation. Like I said, I'm sure AlphaGo read that. I trust he has a Tsuji there. That's just reading. That's all that is. Life and death and reading. Right, so I think we're in endgame. Okay, so I normally don't review endgame because endgame you can study on your own. It's just a lot of math. And if you understand the concept behind endgame, and that is count the value of all the moves, pick the one that's the most mathematically high in value one, and Sente first. Play all your Sente moves first. Sente, then play the high mathematical. Play the most valuable ones. Anyway, in endgame it's just Sente. You can practice that on 13x13s if you want to practice your endgame counting and practicing keeping Sente, and then just play in real games. I would say the most important things are the opening and middle game to learn from pros, and if you want to practice your endgame, then you can easily do that as well, just by counting the value of the moves, or the value of the score change when they're playing your endgame moves. So yes, you can learn endgame from pros. I just don't want to do it because it's a lot of counting and very time-consuming for a video. So,
Okay.
Conclusion times.
Conclusion time.
Conclusion time. What did we learn from this game?
Sente and attacking might be more valuable than defending.
Yes. AlphaGo says, screw human logic, I do attack.
I do it.
So it seems like AlphaGo likes attacking
That's all.
more than defending. It's very difficult to apply that ourselves, but it's a new idea that we might, learn. So, we also learned several shapes. We also learned attack the group as a whole, not just part of the group. And that one was actually less obvious in the top left. That one actually took a minute. Took me a minute to actually figure out that's what he was doing.
And it took you explaining it for me to know.
Yeah, sure. Quiz time. Is defending more valuable than a big move?
If someone's attacking you, yes.
Okay.
Because of exchange.
When can you ignore a defense?
If attacking somewhere else is bigger.
Until when?
One move away from death.
Yes! So, these are some ideas that we can learn from this. So, you can apply these with caution as you see fit in your games. But
with caution.
Apply these... apply these with caution. Because these are very dangerous strategies. And one misstep and you'll lose. And you'll die. Or you might die, you might lose, you might do both. One misstep in these ideas, and it's game over. So these strategies, I would say... take with a grain of salt. Is that the expression?
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt that while these strategies may be cool...
Be careful.
Yeah. These strategies might be cool, but be very, very careful when implementing them. Read a lot. And count. Counting is important. Okay, so that's it for the first game. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will go ahead and start the second game now. But for the YouTube video, we will be cutting it here, and then on the next video, you will see the next game. Alright, so let's load the second one. No, we're not taking a break. We're just, the YouTube video would cut now, and so this is in between the YouTube videos. Only Twitch will see this part. What? You stole my drink! No, the Twitch is not ending. I'm turning, because I'll be cutting...
Are you done with the YouTube video?
The YouTube video...
I can talk. Okay, great. Can I be right back?
I'll go, hurry up. Intermission time. Females have to talk. Female conversations are more important than Go reviews. Yeah, so this is going to be cut into YouTube videos. Or it's the plan. Alright, so this is the second game. Stole my drink. Alright, so I gotta... Come on, OBS load. I believe white. So, an interesting fact... AlphaGo won. An interesting fact, out of 50 games, I believe it's 50, white won... so black won only 12. So, 38. White won 38 times, and black won 12. In other words, Comey with 7.5 is too much. AlphaGo feels that 7.5 Comey is better for white. Interesting fact. If you guys want... so interesting, it's an interesting fact. But anyway, if any of you guys want to... Oh, that's not it. That's something I was reading. Completely off topic, is there's apparently a fan art of Dragon Ball Centuries, DB Centuries, that I was reading. It apparently takes place after GT. Those is a fan art series. And so it's just the Goku Jr. That's like Goku's great-grandchild or something. Yes, I think great-great-grandchild. And it's just his story. And it's a fan art, and I was reading that. Anyway, where'd it go? Oh, yeah. I closed that tab. AlphaGo-games.com. That's where I'm getting all these games. Exposed. I was reading Dragon Ball. Yeah, so if you guys want, I'll post that in here, actually. I forgot that I had it. my Dragon Ball thing.
What Dragon Ball thing?
It's a Dragon Ball fan art right here. It's Dragon Ball Centuries. It's a fan art that takes place after GT with Goku Jr.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's why I was reading it, and then we had to do this, so I stopped reading it, and it was still up because I was saving my place, and then I accidentally clicked on it. I was like, oh, something off topic.
I want to read that.
And they're like, you reacted like it was porn or something. I'm like, no, it's not like that. It was just Dragon Ball.
Oh, it is.
Dragon Ball is my guilty pleasure, guys.
Oh my god.
I'm some weird sicko that reads Dragon Ball.
Don't get so red-faced, Sean. Be there.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that was really funny. That was really cute. I know!
Yeah,
I want to
that's
steal
good.
it.
Okay, you girls go be girls somewhere else.
No, I'm back.
Anyway, yeah, so you guys can watch,
Oh, to watch it! Oh, no. Wait for me. I want to watch the first season. Did you guys hate your job?
what episode are you on in Game of Thrones? She's watching Game of Thrones for the first time. What episode are you on?
I was on one and do guys pet shop dog. Oh yeah, that's like the first guy.
She likes death.
Roast. It only gets cooler from I know, and then like someone chopped his stomach open, I see guts coming out. I was like, oh my god.
She likes
Wait
death,
till
and
you-
she's watching Game
wait
of Thrones
till
for the
you get-
first time.
Wait till you get to the dragons lighting like everything on fire. Oh my god.
Okay. Can we
Yeah,
get back
I'm
to
done.
studying Go? Let's all be girly about Go now!
I'm done.
This is what you guys sound like. Shut up.
I can try, but it's harder for me to be enthusiastic about Go than Game of Thrones.
Thanks.
Game of Thrones has dragons.
Go is cooler than Game of Thrones.
Go doesn't have dragons, so therefore no, it is not cool.
Game is cooler than Got. It's an even number of letters rather than a third.
Does Go have heads getting chopped off?
Yes! Go does have heads getting chopped off. Okay.
I would
History
play
lesson.
Go if I see heads chopped off.
History lesson time. Way back when, hundreds of years ago, there's so it still exists nowadays, and a wooden Go board. There's a floorboard about yay thick or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath it is a triangle, a pyramid that gets dug into the board. The reason for that is hundreds of years ago, when someone talked during the game, they would flip over the board, put their head over it, chop their head off, and that would be there to catch the blood.
Oh my god! That's so cool!
So,
I'm gonna play Go now. I wanna play.
because if someone talked during a game, they would flip over the Go board, chop off their head, and that would be there to catch the blood.
Oh, wait, question. Doesn't that mean like the whole game is gone and you flip over the Go?
Yes, if someone talks during a game, you have to stop the game and restart it.
I'll get my head chopped off. I talked to
This is history. This is true. This is true, by the way. This is actual Go history in Japan, hundreds of years ago.
Rose, you and I would both be happy.
The things you only see on Twitch rather than the YouTube videos. This is
you
why
guys
you
are
watch it on
special.
Twitch. This is why you watch the Twitch stream.
Throw stones in their eyes and run. That's actually good. They're trying to chop your head off. See, if that happened, I would play Go. I would be interested if I see blood and gone guts.
You're like, someone please talk.
Somebody
You would learn ventriloquism. You would learn ventriloquism, throw your voice into someone else, and they're like, you talked!
You die.
Just so you can watch someone die. Learn ventriloquism and get someone else killed.
I would be like, they laugh.
How to kill someone hundreds of years ago. Go to a Go game and throw your voice.
Go does not have dragons.
Yes, it does.
How? Where?
So,
Go does not have dragons.
a large group with no eyes and no points is called the dragon. It's one of the...
Do those dragons breathe fire?
No.
So no, they're not as cool as Game.
They're dying dragons.
They're not as cool as Game.
They're dead dragons. They're zombie dragons! They're the zombie dragons. It's a zombie dragon.
Oh, that's cool. You made Go call. That's complimented. You just throw your voice and restart. Easy. That is genius.
If you're the Go player, learn ventriloquism and throw your voice. That'd be hilarious. If Clossi ended up dead.
Oh, you're looking at a game and you like made a noise. Could you do that?
If you see my head and you don't see my body and my mouth is not moving, and they're saying it's ventriloquism, it's not ventriloquism. They just cut off my head for entertainment and they're using it to stream to pretend I'm still alive.
Sean, can I cut off your head and do that?
You won't be able to impersonate my head until you can play as well as me at Go.
I want to like Go now.
See, Rose, here's
If
my
I meet you in a
one
Go
issue.
game, can I cut off your head and keep it? And I could have steak. I'm gonna go ahead and
In
answer
an
that
even
with a
game on a
no.
19x19.
If I can get you to go, I get your head.
If I lose to you in an even game on a 19x19 board, I think I would rather die.
Well, you would.
I don't think I would want to
No.
live. If I lose to a 20Q in an even game on a 19x19, I think I would just give up on life.
No.
So yeah, sure, that's fair bet.
I'm like
No.
this. I'm gonna play go now.
I'll become a ghost.
You're not allowed.
Oh, don't become a ghost. And kill all my fun.
Anyway, AlphaGo is just alphago-games.com. You want to get Steven? An even game? Like, what is there a misclick?
Isn't that the guy that beat you?
Yes.
The Chinese guy, right? Well, I say that, and it's Go.
There must
so
have
there's
been a
lots of
huge
Chinese
misclick. Or Atari or something. Alright.
Sai is Clossi. Yes.
No.
Okay. You know what that'd be trippy? If I, like, become Psy, but in the past. If I die, my ghost possesses a Go board and then back travels into the past, and I end up becoming Psy in the
Hop
past.
Kea. Do not do Kea. Follow Kea around, you know.
Do that, because then you can't leave me.
Yeah, do Kea.
Then you're my little ghost.
No, because then you would never play Go, and...
No, like, if it would make you happy and it would keep you with me.
Wow. Yes, we are inside a camper.
we live inside it.
We just bought land. We're working on saving up money to build a house. Don't hate me. Don't hate my
Come
house.
on me, I need lessons.
Don't hate my house. I'm building a house. This is my home until I get something built. Don't be a house hater. Okay, are we ready to actually do this? Jasper,
Please
I
do
would
not.
totally haunt you.
No, you can't leave. You have to haunt me.
Yeah,
If you die first, you have to haunt
Okay, let's get back on topic instead of hypothetical hauntings. And
me.
head
But
die.
hypothetical hauntings are fun.
Oh, sorry, that is streaming the clown nose.
No, I'm not streaming with the clown nose. Oh my gosh.
What
Females ruin ghost streams.
No,
It's official.
We make it more entertaining.
Females ruin
Here, you
streams.
don't have to wear it. Happy. Okay, I'll be serious.
I'm
now.
streaming. Go away.
I'll be serious. I'll be serious now.
Oh my gosh.
I will still be serious. I'm still serious.
Where's that SpongeBob, like, insert meme? Chocolate!
No. Bad Jasper.
Add quote. Would you use an apostrophe here?
No, it's females plural, not females
Okay,
possessive.
okay.
Do you want a chocolate bar? Oh, then my ruining your stream.
No, Haley doesn't count. She's Asian.
This is payback.
Asians don't count. In Go, Asians don't count at all.
This is payback for ruining my silverware and making me fix it 1,000 times. Payback.
I made the bot. What are you talking about? I made a bot. I don't just have a bot. I made a bot.
Yeah, no, that's like how many? Like 50,000 lines of code?
Not 50. Not quite 50.
Okay,
More like
multiple
5.
thousand.
Okay, it has thousands of
Aw, thank you, Eric.
lines. Okay, it has thousands.
Eric likes me.
Thousands of lines of code, but not 50,000 lines of code.
Okay, it's a lot of thousands.
Probably it's less than 10,000.
It's a lot of thousands.
Okay, are we ready to do this? We're ready to do this. Can we start?
Yeah.
Rose, go away. You're distracting people.
Rude. And by people, you mean me.
Yes. And this.
Hey, that's what you get for messing with my beautiful silverware.
Have you not noticed the fork yet?
I'm glad. Look at no, because when you have the paper towel, you have the knife, you have the
1 million codes.
Okay, you
Okay,
guys
go
fix
away and argue later. All right, are we good to start this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are we officially starting?
Okay, we're good.
Do you want to eat your chocolate before or after?
During.
During. Okay, during. Gotcha. Okay. Alright, if we're starting the YouTube video, then welcome back to the next game. We are Mr. and Mrs. Clossi.
Hi, guys.
And we are doing AlphaGo Game 2. And boy, you guys missed some interesting intermission. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this. So you start and tell me where the first weird move is.
Okay, I'm doing this again.
Yep, you're doing this again. Oh,
It's not doing a thing.
Sorry, gotta click down here. Okay, now done.
Okay.
Sanren
Oh,
Say!
Say!
Haven't seen that in a while. Ooh, he does a pincer. He still does a pincer. Huh. Okay, let's back up for a second. I wanna
That one.
Yes. That's correct. That's the first
Oh,
weird
it's
move.
weird.
Okay, so let's do little opening history lesson. The common pattern was actually, but not blasted. Not that move. The common pattern was actually this for a very, very long time. And this was considered one of the most complicated openings out there. Because it's a big, big fight. And you can go over here, and it's a very, very big fight. So this is, a very, very famous opening. Like, almost everyone knows this opening. Very famous, very complicated. And it's interesting to see that AlphaGo didn't pincer on either of the sides. I would just say nope. Nope. Because if you recall, AlphaGo values Sente. So for example, the common response if black plays there is white just goes here. But now we have Sente. And we know AlphaGo's feelings on Sente! So it makes me wonder if we should change our Joseki choices to get Sente. Taisha, I would say around the same as Taisha. Taisha's very, very complicated, but depending on the board, there was some straightforward situations. Like, if you look at Shuzoku games, there were some straightforward patterns that they expected. Sanren Sei, there was some straightforward patterns, but the fight was always different. 4 Taishas. Okay, no one plays 4 Taishas. That never happens. So also Taisha can be simplified. So I would say Sanren Sei might be equal complication than Taisha. Do you know what Taisha is?
No, I know what Sanren Say is, but not Taisha.
Taisha is a Joseki, right?
Okay.
Joseki that has more than 1,000 variations. There's around at least 30 that are common in that corner alone.
Screw that noise. I can't memorize all that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
nuts.
It's very complicated. But there are some simplified variations, and amateurs usually use the simplest ones, but some people like playing it. But I would. It's extremely complicated. I never played Taisha. Okay, so this peep is weird.
You know more than me.
I know at least 1,000 Joseki.
I think he's talking about like Taishas in general.
Oh.
But
Oh yeah, Joe. Okay, so he knows 3 variations of Taisha. Yeah.
more than me?
Yeah. How many Joseki do you know?
Maybe 1.
You
I don't know a lot.
You should know at least 3 or 4.
I might know them and not know that I know them.
Probably. I would say you know less than 10 though.
Probably.
Less than 10. I probably know like 1,000. just for the amount of games I've played.
That's crazy.
So once you've played 1,000 Josekis, you have a general idea of what should happen. This is something that I would not expect. So even with 1,000 Josekis.
That's weird.
So even with me knowing 1,000 Josekis,
So
I don't know this move.
That's the first really weird one.
Yeah, I don't know this move. I've never seen this move. I know 1,000 Josekis. I played probably around. I don't know if I've played 10,000 games, but I played thousands of games. Probably close to 10,000. Closer to 10,000 than 5,000, basically. I played thousands of games. I know at least 1,000 Josekis. I still don't know this move.
It's weird.
It's a weird move. I know some 5-5 Josekis. I don't know many, but I know some 5-5 Josekis. Okay, so let's talk about what it is. Well, first, it's a peep. So it's threatening to cut black.
Yeah.
So black's going to respond, and black will have territory on the inside. So it builds up white's influence. I actually have expected him to jump back. So let's say black does this, and we jump back. Would you say that this is a good exchange for the bottom?
Yeah, kind of splits that bottom corner in half.
No, not this move. This move's a common move. I'm talking about this one. This exchange.
It makes those 3 like really strong.
Yes, but it also builds up the bottom.
Yeah.
Remember, you want to build a bowl? It's building a bowl.
Not a teacup.
Not a teacup. Don't build a teacup, you build a bowl. Don't build the teacup, build the bowl. But it looks like a very nice exchange in this position. So, it's a very interesting idea. I would say that's the idea. But, of course, you know, AlphaGo's playing black. He's never going to respond to R3. Like, R3 is almost never played anymore. Like, in the first few moves. According to Clossi, line 2.
Yeah, line 2.
Line 2?
You always say second line is bad.
Second line is bad, except when?
Except for ending.
No. There's exceptions. There's 2 exceptions. The second line in the first like 50 to 100 moves is not good, except in 2 scenarios. Do you remember what they are?
Sliding under the thing, I think.
Stealing.
Right. Yeah.
And life.
Well, yeah.
When you have to play life, you have to play life. If you're dying, second line might make you life.
Yeah,
it's very inefficient and very small, but sometimes in desperate scenarios, O2. I don't see an O2 move. That's Q2. So sometimes in certain scenarios, second line is a must, like for Attacker's Mouth or something. But it's very uncommon that was the case. A more common one is when you're stealing something. Stealing is the most common second line move that's used in the first 100 moves. Otherwise, second line is usually generally small. But it's come to my attention that this Q2 move, this slide under, is actually very ignorable. Many people ignore this slide nowadays. And it makes me wonder if maybe this is small. But of course, AlphaGo played it, so it's not that it's not valuable, it just might not be sent anymore. But the slide under a 4th line stone for stealing points is acceptable, but it might not be sent. I wouldn't say it's a bad move though. No, second line, like for example, if I played here and you played here, I would say no. That's terrible. Why would you play second line when you play third line? Or why would you play a second line move when there's this big 4th line move somewhere else? Second line is small for value, but if you're sliding under something to steal it, then it might be good. But in this case, many players don't even consider it sent anymore. So it's very interesting. Q2 is one of those moves that we could talk about for quite a while. Alright, but see, he said an approach. An approach is big. Off the chair. You're spinning me. Keep spinning me.
I'll have to lean on something.
Well, don't lean on that button and don't lean on this because you're spinning me around and you're dropping me down to the earth. You were making gravity like more effective. Don't you do it, I swear to goodness. Alright, so now we play this. And we play Dynasty Sweep, very common. And Tanuki. Alright, attack! AlphaGo likes attacking, right? And AlphaGo hates defending. So, this is an interesting move. He's saying...
See, that would scare me playing the 3-3 at that point.
Well, 3-3 is very easy to live. But what gets me is, why does he want to live in the corner and give black the influence? See? It's also interesting to see that black is responding with the Hane to the 3-3 instead of with the common move like this to try and steal the eyes. So I'm wondering if this is this is a new shape or this is just something I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a shape that I don't know.
Will we ever know? I don't know.
Slide for eyes. Remember? Second line is good win.
You're stealing points, or if you have to live.
Right. Does he have to live?
Yes.
Okay, slide might be good here. So now he's going to give up the corner? I'm actually not sure what AlphaGo's plan is here. So now he's saying I'm going to give up the corner and steal the side. Tanuki? Called it! Because this group's like almost completely alive. For example, the reason he played this is normally you would want to play one more to kill the corner. So let's say you kill the corner, but then we'd lose all these points, right? Because we can do stuff. Or maybe we jump, and we lose all the points while this one's trying to live, right? So he said, okay, let's keep the points, because the only thing you're going to be able to do over here is kill one stone. But I still have the corner. So yes, I'll lose some points, but I'll keep the corner. So the corner's already mine, so now I'm going to keep the side and most of the corner. So white says, okay, well, as long as I have this, I can live. So as long as he has his Hane and a way out, he can't die. If he can't die, what does AlphaGo do? eat tanukis. Always. Yes, there are some forcing moves locally. Yes, there's definitely some thickness in Sente locally. But AlphaGo says this is bigger than the local profit. And now he builds his Moyo, which also kind of threatens this. Okay, now he's going to make life. There's that shape again. Hane, reverse Hane.
That happens a lot with AlphaGo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kick. Nobody down. It's just Sente exchange to get a couple points. And run away. This one's cuttable, though. It's very interesting. Yeah, this one's cuttable, so I'm not sure how this is going to play out. Okay, there has to be a variation here. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/Clossi.
Or just do that.
Okay. So if he pushes and cuts, it looks like there's some Aji here. I'm not sure of the order, like the move order, but it looks like there's going to be some Aji here. For example, what if I do this? Maybe. So maybe the push and cut doesn't work. Now, I'm not sure about the exact moves. I'm not sure about the exact order. I don't even know if I'm completely right, and assuming there's Aji there. But my hint is, Black took a stone that looked nearly irrelevant to the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So likely there's a variation where that Aji becomes a problematic for Black that he read. This is something you have to do with pro games because we can't read as pros, right? We're not pros. We can't read as well as pros. So when we see a move like this, the justification is usually there's a variation that we just don't see yet, and we have to look for it. So this is a hint that there's a variation here that prevents Black from cutting, that prevents Black from doing the obvious thing. So we have to look for that variation. And so I'm going to assume it was something along those lines. So I'm going to assume the liberties are bad for Black, and that's why Black can't push and cut. Which means this move works because of that Aji. Alright, now he fixes. See, it's more or less proving the theory that there's something there. I don't know what it is, but it's like, what is it called in math when you prove something's there by proving around it or something?
I don't know. Math is not my strong suit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing. But anyway, you're basically proving that it exists by proving the solutions exist. You're proving there's a formula by proving there's solutions. Yeah, don't lose that. That's important. That's important. It's my college classes. That's important.
You need that for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's the 2nd. So yeah, I have to do that first thing tomorrow. Okay, so anyway, that's my theory that there's something there because of these. Alright, so now he fixes the weak group while reducing the big area. Alright, now we reduce the big area, so now the left side's bigger than the top side. Counting. Counting's important. The top side is now no longer more valuable than the left side because the influence isn't that big anymore because he's just reduced it. Remember, he's still alive because he still has that R15, so now he says the left side's bigger than the top side. Now he plays this move. This move's interesting because normally we would see a 5-space extension from the start point, but this is a 4-space extension, which makes me wonder why he chose this. I think he's just trying to pincer an invasion more tightly. But there's also more of an invasion here now. But maybe he says this corner is much bigger, and he doesn't care about that. So I think this one's just AlphaGo style. He probably has his own reason. That's why he played it. So normally the move is a 5-space extension from the corner. Because when you extend a corner, it's a 5-space extension. Here would be 4th line because you have support, so 4th line, so this is the normal move. This is what you would expect to happen. There are some cases when you do a 2-space jump because it's kind of an extension, but also helps this corner if this corner was in danger. But this corner is not in danger, so there's no reason to be closer to it. But it does make it harder to invade right here. So maybe AlphaGo says this is preventing that invasion is 1 point. So it's possible. Anyway, this one's a very minor thing. It's just a different style. Are you paying attention?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Where's normal move?
5-space.
Okay.
I'm paying attention.
Because you're over there. La la land. Okay, so he reduces this. This is interesting because it's hard to say that he has a moyo with these stones here. But granted, even though I say that, there are still some black forcing moves here to build a moyo. So this shoulder hit, the reason I mentioned moyo is because this shoulder hit is going to reduce the side, force white to get some points on the side to build a moyo. But if there's white stones over here, there is no moyo. So why would you give points for no moyo? So this means he's saying that I'm going to attack over here and build a moyo that's bigger than the side points. This is a shape.
This is a shape.
Yeah, so normally you would push 1 more, but this would give black 1 more line. And so he wants to prevent it as fast as possible. And ta-da! Yeah, AlphaGo definitely does like to play shoulder hits. Ta-da! My theory,
right.
My theory's proven right. So, is white okay with this? White did get the bottom left corner. So white did get this. And black got this. Hard to say who got more. So I can't say who got more. You would have to count it. And I don't want to waste time counting on the video, but you would have to count this. But probably it's approximately equal. Alright, now AlphaGo goes here. Now this is curious. I expected AlphaGo to do something to reduce this, like out here, or push in here, something like that. But he chose here. So this move to me looks like more or less the dame point. Like, why would you choose this side? So let's think, let's picture a black stone right here. So yes, black gets some forcing moves, and then maybe build up right here, but if that was the case, then why can't I just stop it right here? So this move, actually, I'm not sure about. I'm not sure why this move's played. It does defend the weak group, but the weak group is already has Miai. So it makes me curious. What about, let's change the theory. Black played here, so if we ignore, is this move Sente against the right side group?
I don't know. I'm the 20 field.
Maybe. Maybe you can't do this because the next move is Sente against the group. So maybe this is, I'm defending the group and preventing your profit by attacking me and Sente. I'm preventing your profit while defending, while reducing. Would you agree with that?
So he's playing there to keep him from playing there later, basically?
He's playing there to keep black from playing there in Sente.
Exactly. That's what I said. He's playing there to keep his opponent from playing there. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get that expression, then you don't get it. Just trust me. Either you get it or you don't get it. Hint, I'm a Dragon Ball fan. That's the hint. So now he plays this. So he's actually, it looks like he's attacking the group from afar. So he's still building that moyo. He's wanting, it looks like he's building thickness in Sente over here. So he can come back and attack this group and build points in the center in Sente. So this is actually threatening to attack from afar. But that's giving a lot of points. But there's still an invasion in the bottom left. So it's hard to say. It's not possible. Oh, Hane. Reverse Hane.
Again?
Mm-hmm. Alright, now you play until you see weird move again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is that one weird?
Do you think it's weird?
I don't know. The last one's up there. So you'd think he'd want to respond up there.
So he has to live, right? So he played here, so there's a cut here, right? Oh, sorry, let me use the mouse. So he played here, so now there's a cut here, which would let him make the second eye in the corner. So he prevented the second eye in the corner. That's what that move did. Okay.
Yeah, the black move made sense. And you would think white would want to respond to it.
You would think that.
Or play some more bigger
Especially
buttons.
since white's about to die.
Yeah.
So white doesn't have 2 eyes. All right, hold on. S11 would be better than N11. S11 would be better than N11. I'm assuming you mean M11. Yeah. So if you're wanting to live, then this is the move. Because you Atari, and then you have life.
Yeah.
Easy, right? Yeah. So it looks like this should be the move. But white didn't make the second eye, and white played here.
Why?
Well, first off, if you live, black will have a very big attack right here. And it's actually very difficult to save these things. Even if you can save them somehow, so let's just assume you can save them somehow. You see white, black is attacking white, and black's getting a lot. So white, of course, doesn't like that, so he plays here. Okay? But now he's going to die in the corner. So how does he live? And that is the question. So black is taking the eyes. So we're going to see the answer to that question. Why is this move okay? And we're actually about to see the answer to our question. So he plays that, then plays that. Apparently because black's weak, white is okay. Or he's going to sacrifice the whole thing, destroy the entire Moyo. That's, that's cool.
Also a possibility?
That's exactly what he just did. So if he just lived, black would have a big advantage, probably win, right? So he sacrificed the entire group, destroyed black's entire plan. So remember how black was building this whole area?
Mm-hmm.
So white said, I'm going to give you that entire group, and now all these moves for black are useless. They're dominant now. They have no value.
Mm.
So white just completely broke black's plan and gave up an entire group to do it.
Jeez.
So on this board, white valued black's plan, destroying black's plan, equivalent to this entire group. This means the center, in white's mind, was worth 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, around 35, 36 points.
That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. But if you count the whole board, what do you realize? Like, if you look at all the territory, where's all the territory? Black only has the top right and some on the right, right?
And left kind of has or white kind of has the left.
Mm-hmm. And some on the bottom.
And the rest of it's in the middle.
The middle's dominant now. White just destroyed the middle. So, in white's mind, white counted that the group was okay to give up because he has enough territory, so destroying black's plan will give him a better chance in the game. So this means this strategy is basically a strategy that we can learn that on some scenarios, giving up an entire group or giving up a group, take control of the board or break your opponent's plan, might be okay if you have the territory to afford it. So for example, if I have all the territory and you have a big Moyo, if I give up one group to destroy that entire Moyo, if that group's, it might be more valuable than just saving the group and letting you get the Moyo. Like if you look at the points, remember, the game isn't about how many points you can get per move, it's about how many points you have more than your opponent. So if white said, I will have 1 point more than my opponent if he kills this and I destroy the center, and my opponent will have 1 point more than me if I live, then he's going to sacrifice the entire group and get points.
Yeah.
So, energy. Chocolate. Here, eat chocolate. So, it's a plan that says sometimes sacrificing a group and destroying your opponent's plan can be more valuable than just living with the group. Because if you use that group as Aji, then you can actually force your opponent to capture that group on a small scale and destroy a very big scale plan, very large scale plan. So it's a very cool strategy that you can think about. However, it's very rare that this happens. Well, I say rare. I would say you might be able to pull this off in 1 in 20 games. You might be able to pull something similar to this off. So, it's a very powerful plan. And that is why he chose this Nobi. Shift, click, shift, click. It's not clicking. It's not doing a thing. Okay, so that's why he chose this Nobi. Yes, he could have lived, but he said, this Nobi, the destroying the center is worth the group. And if he tries to save the center and gets half the center, then I'll just live with the group later. So black has to, and then he unsettles this black center group with this move, and then gets all the forcing moves, like threatens life, and then gets all the forcing moves on that group, and uses his own group as Aji. Attacks this group, destroys the center in Sente, and plays a very nice exchange. Yeah, it's only 35 points, and since black doesn't have
Well, I
any...
think he's saying that the white group doesn't surround much territory.
Yeah, white only would have had 2 points, and black would have had points in the center. So if black would have had, so let's say 2 points. So if he, let's say he had, so right now he has 35 points, and white didn't get 2 points. So this is about a 37-point difference, right? So if black's center would have been worth more than 37 points, then it's better to just give up the group and destroy that more than 37 points for 37 points. So that's why I did it. All right, so of course now black's like, okay, white's going to have control of the center, so let's start getting security in the center. Otherwise, white's going to push me around and get profit in the center. So white's threatening all the connections. And of course, black is living in the center while also making sure this, trying to unsettle this group as well. So there's going to be another big fight for control of the center now. You following that?
Yeah.
All right, so white splits here to unsettle black. So now black runs. This is Sente. This is a free reduction in Sente. But then black ignored it. Okay, the reason I said it was Sente, in my defense, was because these 3 stones are not alive. I thought he had to connect them and save them. So I thought maybe he, would do... I thought maybe he would connect somehow. Oh, I'm on the pin. That's why I can't shift click. I thought maybe he would connect somehow or do something here and save himself. I thought that was what I was expecting. But he said, no. You kill those, because I have enough territory, and then I'll go on the bottom. Like, after I secure this, if you kill these, then, since I'm probably okay now, I'm going to go on the bottom, like, attack your whole group on the bottom, or something like that. This is what I'm thinking AlphaGo's thinking. Or black's thinking. Alright, he, of course, free Aji. Now he does this. This is still surrounding black, but it's also beating the Aji on the right. But I'm curious as why white is not going on the bottom. Maybe he's pushing black down before getting to the bottom. That fixes his weakness while also peeping at black's weakness. Okay. Alright, so now he does trade this group for the bottom. This is to try and unsettle white. The white center group. This is to try and unsettle the white center group. He does defend the right weakness. So remember how I said this one's peeping at the white weakness while also attacking?
Mm-hmm.
Right weakness, not white. The right side weakness while also attacking. So he did defend it. So I guess this defense is bigger than an attack down here, which is curious because normally AlphaGo likes attacking more than defending. Yeah. So AlphaGo is maybe better in comparing groups for trading. Yes, I think AlphaGo's value comparison, his ability to compare one thing to another, is on a much higher level than ours. So, let's back up for a bit and say one huge thing we can learn from this. One huge thing that we can learn from this is counting the value of who's getting what is very important. For example, if I get A and you get B, what's the score? Versus if I get B and you get A, what's the score? AlphaGo is doing this on a very, very high level, to the point where it looks like you don't know what's going on, but actually AlphaGo is just making a bunch of very, very efficient trades. So AlphaGo said this center is more valuable than this group. And then he's, of course, Black, on the other hand, said this center and bottom is more valuable than this group. So AlphaGo, in this game, is showing us that figuring out what is bigger is very, very important. And counting what is bigger and counting and judgment. So judgment is a kind of counting plus considering what the influence is worth, plus considering your own instincts of gauging, like, here's the score, here's the points, here's the influence, which one's more valuable? Or, like, here's the score and influence, or the points and influence of A, here's the points and influence of B, which one's more valuable? Being able to make that judgment is an extremely high-level thing to do. So even top pros struggle with figuring out which is bigger, A or B. Like, that judgment is one of the hardest things to master.
That's why AlphaGo beats all of the
right. This is why.
all of the time.
Right. So this is why. While I said sometimes sacrificing your group to destroy a strategy, to destroy your opponent's plan, is a valid strategy, it's also very hard to pull off, and that is because you have to have very, very accurate judgment to pull it off. But I think that's what we're learning here, is that AlphaGo is saying B is bigger than A, because A is the obvious move, but B is bigger than A, so I'm going to go play B. And I can do this because I can judge the value in between them at a very high level and very accurately to say that B is bigger than A. Alright, so hopefully it's a cool strategy that you can learn, and hopefully that made sense, but I would say this one's going to be the strategy we're learning from this game is going to be very hard to pull off.
Especially as a double digit.
Yeah, especially as a Q. Like, stream is meant for Q players to learn from AlphaGo. And that's what we're doing, is figuring out what we can learn from AlphaGo as a Q player. And so I would say that's something you can learn from AlphaGo, is sometimes giving up a group to destroy something bigger is a valid strategy. You just have to count it and judge it very accurately.
You have to know if it's actually bigger.
Yeah, you have to actually count it, you have to judge the influence, you have to take a good couple minutes to judge everything very accurately, and if you come to that conclusion, then it might be a very good and very powerful strategy.
It'll math.
Yes, you have to math. However, I would say it's difficult to pull off, and it's rare, so I wouldn't try to do this every single game. I would just be on the lookout for it. It might come up every once in a while. Alright, so now he's playing territory, so it looks like they're at the endgame stage. So I would say the endgame is probably starting now. Would you agree with me? Would you say there's anywhere else big to play?
I don't know.
Come on,
Maybe.
double digit Q. Come on. Tell me.
Maybe the middle of the bottom is pretty open. But...
Ooh, that's a very valid point. So the middle bottom.
But that seems like the only really open place left.
I agree. But this corner also threatens the side. So this corner the corner he valued slightly bigger because the follow up is the steal points.
Yeah.
But I would say the bottom is the last open area. So it's okay. So not quite in game, but almost there. Ooh.
Oh, and apparently the top left corner.
This is invadable. Apparently. I knew this was reducible, but I didn't know it was invadable. So this is going to be this is going to be reading things. It's going to be a lot of life and death. So if Black lives here, it's because life and death.
Because life.
So Black lived in so AlphaGo said corners bigger than side. Then he took both corners for each color, and then played the bottom. So you worked right. It's just AlphaGo's better at doing it than you are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I hope AlphaGo is better.
This is Sente to threaten the bottom and the group at the same time, because remember there's still a cut there.
Mm.
And he's going to try and get as much to the bottom as he can, I think. Ko? That's a Ko. Ooh. Exchanges. Reading stuff. Bunch of reading stuff. That's a lot of calculating that I just don't want to do right now. I'm assuming this
what
move
about
has
explaining?
Okay. Okay. I'll try. Okay, so white can come under at A and steal all the points and make the B group slightly weak. But this group probably still going to
And
live,
also
but
make
he's going to
this
lose
thing
all the
live.
points.
If white comes
No.
under
Oh, yeah. You're right. Good observation.
Yeah.
Even if I play this, I might still die. So it's just a lot of Aji, alright? So likely he can use this Aji to get a lot of reduction somewhere. So I'm not actually sure on A. I
Well,
don't know the variation.
my thinking, and I might be really stupid, and I might realize how stupid it is after I say it, but if white plays there, then black has to fix.
Show them. Use the mouse. Use the mouse.
So if white plays at A, like you were saying, then black has to fix that,
Uh-huh.
and then white can connect out there, and that might save this eventually if he can make another average.
Unfortunately, this last move doesn't make sense. You're already connected. You can't cut there because it's self-atari.
Okay.
So unfortunately,
Well,
that
I'm
last
thinking
move
just
is
to
bad.
get all of that connected, but
It's already connected. So, for example, let's play down. Dude, go back. I play A, you play B. I don't have to connect here. It's already connected. You can't cut. I'm just going to jump.
okay.
Because the cut is self-atari.
So then playing that move does make that whole group paralyzed.
No.
This.
Because I play here, you play here, I play here, you try to make the eye, and I play a throw into Suji, you take, it's a false eye. So unfortunately, the group is still dead as it stands, as far as I can see.
Well, that would be why you would connect there in the first place. Like I was saying earlier. To make it connect.
But if you connect, then I take your 1 point jump, and there's no eye regardless. Okay. Anyway, the point is, there's a lot of Aji for life, but it doesn't look like he can live directly. So I would say, right now, A is a lot of Aji, but I'm not sure how he's going to use it. So maybe he'd get a lot of forcing moves around the B area, but it looks like A is just a lot of Aji. Alright, so I actually thought he was trying to do something here, but he actually played B for C. So it looks like it looked like white lost points, because white could have played C and threatened B. So I'm actually curious here, because it looks like, in my eyes, white just lost a lot of points.
That whole bottom right corner.
No, he lost C, which is quite valuable. Okay, that's the first thing, but AlphaGo is strong, so we're going to maybe think there's some Aji here for some reason. So let's look at the second thing, and that is D. D is a Ko locally. And the variations that I know, that's a Ko for life. Which means that stone might live. If white ignores, like he did, that stone can immediately live. So if white plays first, it's a Ko. If black plays first, it's alive. Right?
Okay.
Now we just played E. Now E does in itself does not look that big. So I had to look for a deeper meaning. And the meaning was that F is not alive.
Sorry, Eric said he's a 15 pro. That's funny.
So E is attacking F. He's ignoring D because D's a Ko. In which case, he might activate the Ko when he has Miai to kill F and D. However, he just played B for C, which makes me wonder there's got to be some Sente exchanges there that I'm missing, otherwise B doesn't make sense. So, in conclusion, E is attacking F in order to make the Ko at D Miai to kill something.
Okay.
I don't know what B does yet. That's the conclusion right now. Lots of stuff are happening, but that's the conclusion right now. Alright, so he's defending. Now we're going back over here. This is trying to split, remember, attack this group. Remember, if black gets some stones around here, there's still that cut. So white has to be careful. They're both attacking each other. It's hard to figure out who's attacking who right now. And now he's going to activate the Ko. Or he's just going to kill it. So I think, since he got stones here, he's actually looking at this move now. Because now I can Nobi. And this is dead. This shape is dead. It's one eye, granted, but it's still dead. So he had to make sure that there was nothing down here. No shenanigans down here. And that is why he actually played here.
Okay.
So in hindsight, this move is fixing that object. So let's play the same variation here. Let's see if I'm right. There's a lot of Aji, so this is actually difficult. I'm actually not sure what the best variation here is. I would have to read for quite a bit. But if we just no-bead, let's assume there's something there. Is there anything down here?
Don't scare scaring up like in front of your OGS line now.
I don't see anything. So actually, I think I'm wrong. Which makes me wonder why he didn't just do this at the start. I don't know. I don't know the variation here. It looks like he was trying to fix something, and after these exchanges, he fixed it and could pull off that block. So that's what I was thinking, but now I'm not so sure. I don't know the variation. I would have to see the branches in AlphaGo's reading. But that's what it feels like he was doing. But it's hard to say. I actually don't know. Okay, so now he does connect this, save his group, and keep white cut off. And white splits to 3 stones while also attacking. There's a big fight in the center.
AlphaGo, I think, is very ADHD. He can't just focus on one thing.
He always needs to be doing something, yes.
He
always needs Sente. He always has to get to the next thing. And if you notice, they're both, every move that's been playing so far is, yes, there's a lot of reading behind it, but at the same idea, it's all generalized to the attack in the center. Who's attacking who? So they're playing a big game of chicken right now. That's actually what it boils down to. A versus B. Who's weaker? And they're both saying the other ones. They're playing a game of chicken. This is now the chicken game. They're playing the game of chicken. That's actually, if you look at it, pretty much what it's boiling down to. Now white is cut off and black's cut off, so it's going to be curious to see who's going to get the better advantage here.
I'm curious.
Ho, 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 ho. If I play right here, and then right here, and then right here, and then Atari, and then connect, and then right here. I activated it. AlphaGo likes to leave these little traps laying around that he doesn't activate for like 50 moves. It's actually interesting to see AlphaGo fighting a Ko, because I heard Kos were one of AlphaGo's weaknesses. Alright, so both sides live, and they both tried to get as much as they could out of it. Alright, so I think the rest is in-game and settling everything. So it looks like the rest is going to be in-game. Hey, that corner down. When did that happen? I was not paying attention to that corner, actually. I was paying attention to Life and Death. Okay. So, A's alive. No. Oh, 3 liberties, 2 liberties. Okay, it's not alive. Okay, A died. That A died. This B died. And C connected, so there's no cut there. So white lost A. In the cup.
Which is pretty big, it looks like. That's a corner.
It is pretty big. Is the D group alive yet, though? Now we're coming back here. This is complicated. Okay, so this is life and death. There's another ko. So this was a ko. The bottom right was a ko for this and all the forcing moves, right?
Okay.
So this group is practically alive. There's just a lot of forcing moves. And this is a ko. So he basically said, I'm alive. I got like these 4 stones and all these forcing moves for a ko in the corner. So if he gets something else for this ko, so let's say he gets 2 moves in a row for that corner, I think white get more. In my opinion. In my theory. But there's a lot of ko threats. So I think we've learned everything we can learn from this game. I'm just actually curious to see the result now. Or I'm curious to see what's going to happen now. Oh my gosh. That's another ko. Holy crap. So this is extremely complicated. In other words, I would be terrified to play this ko as either color. Because whoever, like, right now, A is dead and B is dead. Whoever wins this ko kills the other one. So now, there's no 2 moves in a row. Whoever wins the ko wins. Unless black can live with B by taking something that's equal to what he lost up here. Oh boy, it looks very, very dangerous for black. I think this is easier for black than white, because white just lived with all those points now. And the group's dead. Now it's just... Oh, is it a capture race? It's a capture race. No. There's 4. Oh, it is a capture race. Holy crap, how many liberties is that? How many liberties is that? That's a lot of liberties. This is why I said it's complicated. I'm barely following what's happening, and I have no idea what the result's going to be, or what the readouts are. Like, I'm just following what I'm seeing on the board.
I just know that this is, like, very all close together.
Like I can't
no
say who
there.
has the advantage, I can't say what the next move is, and I can't say what the variations are. I can only say, this is what I see happening right now. I would have no idea what to play in this board. If this becomes another ko, I swear to goodness. Double ko? Oh my gosh. So white is actually threatening to kill the corner for that entire group. So, for example, if black just plays right here, he captures all of those.
Oh my goodness.
But white would kill this corner and win. By probably a couple points. In theory, like, since black responded, I'm assuming that white wins this corner, white wins. Even though he just lost that whole group.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How does it happen?
That's actually why we're playing this out, is just to see what happens. Okay, so we did get the whole corner. Now it's in-game. More ko for another, and it's an in-game ko, basically. This ko isn't nearly as interesting. And black resigns. Okay, so white got a couple points more than black, it looks like. Since I don't want to count, and it is the end, I am going to use the lazy estimator. Never do this in your games when you're studying. I'm only doing this because it's a video, and I don't want to spend time counting.
Estimate score?
Where?
Is it that one?
Yeah. This is very bad to use during your games. Count during your games. See, this is why it's bad. This is completely inaccurate. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to count. Okay, undo that. How do I undo that?
Back to game?
Oh, yeah, there we go. I don't want to count. Do I have to count? Do I have to count for the video?
No.
White just has more points. Black resigned. White has more points.
See, I'm confused, though, because black has, like, all of that over there.
Fine, I will count to prove it to you. Okay,
I'm just trying to figure it
so
out.
first
okay, wait,
off...
wait. So that... Here, let me
No. First off, there's 51 captures.
Yeah.
For black.
And black has
29 captures for white plus 7.5 coming.
Yeah.
So it looks like this is also Chinese scoring. So white has 105 stones, black has 127 stones. Okay, let's ignore that completely. Territory, no, let's ignore that. 51 captures, so we gotta write this down. Where's the calculator? Okay, so black has, no, not that. Black has 51 points, 51 stones, 51 stones. Let's minus the 29 captures, minus 29 captures,
okay.
minus 7.5. So black has 14.5 more points than white. So let's just say black has 15 points and white wins ties, right?
Okay.
So let's start black out at 15. Now we're gonna go. That's another point. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm gonna count faster than that. 68, 30 for 2 to 4, 68, 40 for 2, 44, 46, 48, 50. That's complicated. So I have no idea what this count is right there. 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 64, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 88, 80, 81. Okay, 81 for black. So
Okay.
black has 81.
81.
White has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 52, 54, 36, 58, 40, 52, 54, 56, 58, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 70, 72, 74, 76, 77, 78, 80, 86, 88.
So 88 to 81.
Yes. So white is up by 7.5 points after coming. So black resigned. Whew. 7.5 point difference.
See, me as white, because I'm stupid, after that thing in the corner died, I would have resigned. I would have been like, nope, I'm done.
This is why you count.
I'm done.
Even though all those stones died, like 40-something stones, I think, died. Or I don't know. That might have been 30-something stones. Anyway, 30-something stones, I think, give or take, died for like 8 stones in a corner. But white was winning by 7.5.
See, I would have resigned because I'm stupid.
Because you don't know how to count.
No,
yeah,
I don't.
Not many people know how to count till single digit Q anyway. You can, if you're single digit Q, count. I know you can. You just have to learn how. I have a video on it. Find it. Anyway, if you're single digit Q, you can count. However, as a double digit Q, you can compare territories. You can't count exactly, but you can compare territories and influence.
See, I would have
Don't
seen,
be lazy.
I would have seen all of that and all the captures, and I would have resigned.
If I couldn't count, I would too. Because it just looks so bad.
It really does.
It would just hurt me to see all those stones disappear.
But see, if I was black, that would have
But
been
if-
like the greatest moment ever.
Yeah,
It would have
but
been like all of that.
if
is
I
gone.
counted it, like if this was a tournament and I sacrificed a whole group and counted it and I won by 7.5, I would have felt like it was the coolest game ever. Because I sacrificed a 30-something stone group and
I
won
still won.
in order to win. That would have been an amazing strategy.
See, to be black and to kill all of that and still somehow lose, that would have been like, how?
Okay, so conclusion time. While that was a really cool-looking ending,
It makes no sense.
the conclusions of what we can learn from this game are actually what we said earlier. And that is counting the value of the A and counting the value of B will help, and judging which one's bigger might help you find those rare scenarios where sacrificing the group is worth destroying your opponent's plan. So if you have enough territory, sometimes you can pull that off. So I would say 2 things. 1, counting is very important. Counting like how much your move is, like what you're getting versus what your opponent's getting. Counting the scale or counting the exchange is very, very important. Who's getting what? Counting that out is very, very important. And the second thing is, sometimes sacrificing a group to destroy a plan is worth it. Fun stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Now, if only you knew how to count, right? If only you could math. It's simple. Count by 2s.
I can't math.
It's just counting by 2s. You can count by 2s, right? It's what I just did. Count by 2s.
Yeah, but see, I don't know what you're counting by 2s. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, wait, where are you getting these numbers?
If you're single digit Q, I would say you can't count exact probably till single digit Q, just because you don't know what is points, and that's because you don't know what's available and what's not available. However, once you are strong enough to say this is not invadable, then you can count that as points. And you only count what is territory. So when you count, like in the middle game, you count what actually is points right now. It's not invadable. What is points? And then you count the influence. Or not count the influence, you more like compare the influence to your opponent's influence. For example, if black has 20 points and white has 15 points, does white have 5 points of influence to make up for that 5 points difference? Or if black has influence and white has influence, does white have influence that is worth approximately, give or take, 5 points more than black's influence in order to make up for that difference? Or does white have Comey, etc., etc.? These are the kind of comparisons you have to make, and you have to have very good judgment on that. And you can't judge something until you've played it hundreds of times. So until you've played hundreds of Go games, you're probably not going to be able to judge how, like, one influence versus another influence. But that actually comes with experience. And there's 2 ways to gain experience to improve judgment, specifically. One is play lots and lots and lots and lots of games. Hundreds of games, thousands of games. I've played thousands of games, and I still can't judge perfectly. 2, reviewing pro games and counting them and seeing what they think is even will improve your judgment, because the pro's judgment's going to be better than yours. So try to judge it first and see what the pro does. And then you can adjust your own judgment ability to fit that of a professional player by reviewing lots of pro games and playing them out like I'm doing and like we're doing, and seeing what the results and seeing how they choose things. And that will improve your judgment abilities, and then practicing that in your own games will also improve your judgment, and that will gain you experience to judge things better over time.
Judgment ability.
Judgment ability, the ability to judge.
You said it like it was one.
Become the Juggernaut. Oh my gosh. So yes, Juggernaut. Improve your Juggernaut abilities. Anyway, that is what we can learn from this game, is those 2 things. 1, judgments, and 2, sacrificing groups for a bigger picture is a valid strategy.
30 stones, apparently.
Even if there's 30 stones. Okay, the end doesn't... No one can comprehend the end. That was insane reading and counting. Like, you would have to be like 9 non-pro to be able to do something like that.
Or AlphaGo.
Or AlphaGo. AlphaGo's 10 non-pro. Alright, so anyway, yeah, thanks for the follow, Zach something. Zach Wozny. Thank you for the follow. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. For the Twitch, this is the last one that we're doing today, and we will be doing more in the future, because this month I have to do at least a minimum of 15 hours of studying time, so I'm going to be doing pro games for my 15 hours of study, and I will be making them into videos for you guys. So I'm playing 50 Go games and 15 hours of study this month, and I'm recording... I'm going to try to record all of it. If I don't, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to record as much as I can of it, if not all of it, and then put it out for you guys to see on Twitch and YouTube. So follow on Twitch if you want to see more of this content, especially this month. I'm going to be live quite often.
You guys have to help me like make him do this, because if he doesn't, he has to dress up as Link and make a singing video. Like, it's a death
So
pact.
you want me to do it?
I'm saying either they help me, like, make sure you do your stuff, or they help me make
They're
sure
going to do
you...
everything in their power to prevent me doing it.
I was
Because
going to say, or they help me make sure you keep up your, like, I failed the death pact penalty.
No, I'm doing the death pack, because if I don't do the death pack, then I have to make a video of me singing.
In a Link
again.
costume. I like that video.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Follow and subscribe on Twitch and YouTube to see more videos in the future. And if you want to support more content, check out my website and maybe get some private lessons, or support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Clossi. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.
Bye.
Bye-bye.